Misha. Everything for you is not a toy. She looks up at me like, oh, well, this is where you're wrong. I must plug in the charger, I think. I'm not even sure. I didn't check. I just got the best news I've had. Okay, that seems somewhat stable. Unlike me. Oh. Manufacture some sort of a backdrop here. Solid tones, solid tones. Oh, geez, maybe I should sit on this side. Okay, let's zoom it in. There we go. That's. I should have quit while I was ahead. Whatever. So, right now, there is an opening. I almost named the video an opening. Should have named the video an opening, but then I got stuck on counting chickens before they hatch. And then I came up with a clever analogy. I'm not actually counting chickens before they hatch. I'm just counting eggs at this point. Suddenly there are eggs. There is at least an egg where there was not one before. And the way it often goes in the grocery business is the interview is the come here, we're going to hire you. Once the guy knows you well enough. And I've been going into this place for 5 weeks now, just saying hello. This is the place that I brought coffee to that didn't call the cops on me. I was still hoping for a job at the place that called the cops on me. Would have been the same work either way. But I like working with other people who know how to work. And it seems to me like the management at the that there's more of a promising future at this store than the other one. But I just went in there. What's up, Maximo? How's it going, man? I just went in there in my Sunday best, looking all sharp and snazzy, with my pants that match my tie. Check that out. You gotta have pants that match your tie. Or you gotta have a tie that matches your pants, one of the two. You can wear pretty much any color shirt you want. Just get your fucking pants, not your shirt. Do not match a shirt to your tie. Okay? If it has the same colors as both your pants and your shirt, glorious. But don't go matching a shirt to a tie and then have pants that are a different color, even if it's black. Either make the tie the centerpiece by wearing a white shirt, or wear a tie that has black in it, has some color of your pants in them. You can even add a third color as long as you just, I don't know why I'm giving fashion advice, but this is something that men seem to have difficulty with. And I, having 3 older sisters, you know, I absorbed a lot of fashion sense growing up. Not just because they used to dress me up. Oh no, not always like a girl, but sometimes. We just played dress up, period. I would typically go for a cowboy or G.I. Joe. But every now and again when I was very young, they would beg me to let them. Oh, Sean, you make such a pretty girl. Oh, it was horrible. Because I had one of them baby faces, you know. Had. Yeah, I got one of them not quite functional 5 o'clock shadow faces. So anyways, walked into the grocery store that didn't call the cops on me. I don't know what's going on with my hair. It's just up on the one side. It looks like mini Trump cut. That's horrible. I've got about the same actual hairline as him. Well, you know, after the plugs. I don't have plugs. Anyways. Saw the manager standing right there in the front. The hiring manager. And now, the position is the dairy frozen foods person that also helps out with grocery. They're looking for somebody to augment that or possibly replace somebody that I've noticed doesn't really seem to like her job. Nice girl and all, but she doesn't seem like she's enjoying stock work for what it is. To really be good at stock, you have to see it as your workout. Okay? To be good at stocking shelves at a grocery store. Not one of them Family Dollar people that works a little bit of stock and a little bit behind the register. Okay? You can have her kind of mentality and do fine at that. That's where she ought to be. But you can tell she wasn't seeing stock as an athletic thing. It wasn't her form of exercise. Okay? You really gotta, and that's probably why, I hate to say it, men and lesbians are better at stock. I've never seen a straight girl that lasted very long because it's not a social thing. You're not forced to interact with anyone, so you have to instinctively pick up on when people are in need of something to interact with somebody. You know, you finding everything you need, that kind of, or can I help you find something? Or just a good morning, how are you? That's all up to you as a stock clerk. I like doing that. That's fine with me. That's a lot less stress and pressure than the job that I currently have, but it's very part-time and I have to wait until next Thursday, possibly Friday, to get trained. Whereas I could go tomorrow morning if I start tomorrow, but if I start Tuesday and Wednesday, I might get paid on Friday. Because usually it's a Wednesday, pick up the pay stubs, Thursday do payroll, Friday they pay checks. And the shift is Thursday to the following Wednesday, the pay period. That's typically how a grocery store works. That just like nine out of the 10 that I've worked for, you know. Has it been 10 or 4 out of 5? Yeah. Including how that one used to be. And in fact, I think Rouse's, when I did work for Rouse's before, and I think that's exactly how they do their payroll. So I go in, the guy's standing there at the front counter. I'm like, "Good morning, how are you, sir?" And he says, "Good, man. You ready to work?" He said it under his breath. And I was like, "Why, yes, I am." No, I didn't bug eye on him. I didn't go Rudy Giuliani on him. "Oh, yes, I am." No. I said something along the lines of, "I can't wait to get to work." And I told him, in fact, I have another job and I hate it. I want to work in the grocery business. I want to do stock. And the more I expressed, as I was writing my phone number down for him, just name and phone number, he's already got my application, the less it became of he's going to call me, and the more it became, "Why don't you go ahead and come in at 10 tomorrow? Don't wait for me to call you. Just go ahead and be here at 10. Now, the past 48 hours, I've been really struggling with my depression. With just utter sadness and solitude. Really struggling. Taking my medication twice a day like I'm supposed to. And it just seems to keep making it worse and worse. This morning, I did not take my medication. The one that doesn't work. The one that works, I now have, what's it called? Zyrtec allergy pills. Because this is discontinued. This is my last pill. It's sitting there for an emergency. This is my last Vistaril. I put these in here just in case I got picked up for contempt the other day. Doesn't seem like I'm going to be suffering that fate. But these, the Vistaril, it's supposed to be in that bottle, not the over-the-counter Zyrtec generic. It's actually in that bottle. Those were discontinued. The antihistamine that's also used for anxiety. So I went and I asked the pharmacist, what over-the-counter antihistamine can I also use for anxiety? And she said, of the three that aren't supposed to cause drowsiness, Zyrtec is the one that actually kind of does. And all I really needed is my heart rate slowed, and I'm much better off. And yesterday my dad told me to be at Walmart between 7 and 8, and I distinctly remember him saying 8 and 9, and I set my alarm clock and took a nap until 8. I have never been this stupid before. I'm certainly not a flawless performer, okay? I certainly have my brain farts. But I've been having some different weird problems that I'd rather not discuss on a live stream. Yeah, those kind of problems. Painful problems. Not lasting longer than 4 hours or anything, but still weirdly painful. And I looked up, and I'm not the only one having these side effects. So between the fact that it's making me feel suicidal, this medication has been making me feel suicidal. Okay? I wasn't sitting around thinking how worthless I was before. And today, the combination of not taking that medication and getting a good sermon at church about Jesus accepts you for who you are, that God accepts you for who you are. See, when I say Jesus, I'm saying God. I'm saying I am in Gaelic. I'm not talking about Christ. If I'm talking about Christ, I'd say Christ. You know, who I thought my wife was. And I've gotten away from the defensive, no, I'm John the Baptist before, and I've told y'all the truth about this was that she's Jesus, I'm John. She's Yazoo. She's the goddess. That's what I thought. But when I first woke up in 2011, I knew she was a fucking imposter, man. I was like, who the hell are you? I've told y'all about that before. So then Mary Margaret Elizabeth Maggie, I called her. Elizabeth, my sisters called her. Maid Marian, my dad called her. For fun. My favorite cartoon at the time was the Robin Hood Disney cartoon with the animals. That am I supposed to be looking for her? I don't know. If her name winds up being Karen, I'm going to be pissed. Anyways. You see, the medication wasn't making me not think about this stuff. The medication was just making it a lot more depressing. It was making my depression a whole lot worse. I think the Zyrtec for anxiety is going to do just fine for me. Because I also have allergies. Win-win. But I have a psychiatrist appointment, and I'm going to ask them to prescribe me something. I don't know what for. The only symptoms I was having was caused by the medication. You can't treat somebody for delusions if their delusions are based on evidence. All you can do is numb their fucking mind until they can't remember the evidence. The problem with me is my evidence is on video. But I apologize to everyone for going off script and not allowing many people to see the rain video. But let's just say the lightning waited and did not strike until the first statement of frustration. And then again when I made a similar statement. Because I'm just a damn mental patient. It was great. But it was looking gloomy this morning. But now the sun's out again. Think of that what you will. To me, the fact that the weather still follows me is God telling me I may not know who or what I am, but I haven't trespassed against him. In anything that I've done. I have tried to debunk a very nuanced story of history based on my memories of it. Those memories and my prophecies bore fruit. So you can judge me psychoanalytically, or you can judge me how the Bible tells you to judge me. Do my words bear fruit? Of course they have. And as far as psychoanalytically, if you claim to be a scientist, if you claim to be objective, you have to view the evidence before passing me off as someone with mere delusion. Most delusional people don't know how to tie a tie. But they don't let them have them either way. Anyways. So, tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, Grocery Man 2.0 revisited. It has been since 2014 since I had any job other than getting kids on and off of a bus, cleaning up after animals every morning, and doing what I do here on YouTube while planning a business empire. The reason I was planning a business empire was because there was no functional way for me to get a job. The only way I could wind up providing for what I thought was my family was to create a business empire. Step by step, inch by inch, millimeter by millimeter, nanometer by nanometer. Okay? Slowly I turned to one idea after another and try to prioritize what is the best secure way for an investor to begin this massive project of mine. I don't have to think to stock grocery shelves. It's like tying my fucking shoes. Okay? There's no moment at which I have to figure something out. Okay? No. The shit comes in. You take the old shit, you move it forward. You put the new shit behind it. Repeat until there's no more new shit. If there's extra shit, you go put it in a little place. Then you pull all the stuff out of that little place and see if any of it'll fill it on the shelf. It's just work. It's mind numbing. Well, no. It's mind numb friendly work. If they want to try some new medications on me, I have no qualms about it. I may cut my dose in half. I may just start taking this to go to sleep at night. Okay? That makes a lot more sense to me, and maybe I won't have the side effects as bad. But I'm not a fan of these side effects. Okay? And I can't see a psychiatrist until the 21st of May. I don't have enough of these pills to last me that long anyways. I'll run out of pills in a month. And then I got 2 weeks, no pills. So I'm better off just taking these once at night. That's what I think I'm going to start doing. If they can help me sleep, that's fine. But they're making me stupid during the day. Taking one every morning too. Making me stupid. And again, other side effects which I don't want to describe. Petey, there's nothing left of her tail. Just leave her alone. Jeez. As much as 4 days a week might sound like a good thing to some people, I do not want to work 4 days a week. I want to at least work 6 days a week. I don't mind working 7 days a week, as long as I can take off time when I need it. Right now, I kind of want to work 7 days a week just to have something to do, you know? Oh, my poor rainbow Manipura. The entire top of it bleached. It's just got coral around the edges. I mean, that's better than nothing, but damn. That was such a beautiful piece. About 6 inches long, 4 inches wide. Maybe 3.5 inches wide. Three and a half inches wide, 5 3/4 inches long, and nice and bulbous in the middle. And it bleached, and where it was held onto the rock, it broke. So now I have to hold it up by the Manipura again. The other Manipura, the orange one. But there is a fourth head on the Duncan. Duncan's doing pretty well for getting overtaken by algae every week. I'm glad the salinity is too high for the Kenya tree. The fucking Tonga trees have grown a forest though. Rose bubble's still looking okay. I don't have much food for it. I wonder if I can work both of these jobs at the same time. I'm gonna see if I can get a schedule that doesn't conflict. Yeah. Go look on the I don't even need to show it. What's the name of the video that I just had posted up? Patrons needed or something like that. Yeah, patrons/donations needed. You can get a good view of the fish tanks right there. Oh, thanks for the like, whoever's there. Hey, monetized. I did the math on it. I'm probably only going to be making like $12 a month. Yeah. That's how much it's actually panning out to. No matter what the math seems to say that it should pan out to, that's what it's panning out. I just skipped my own ad. Damn it. But yeah, I have the camera stand set up right in front of the fish tank. And it should focus in on it in HD. Should be in HD. Come on, HD. Wow. Okay, getting better.
I thought I might do as promised a stream of the fish tank after the clean out. You can really see the difference between the Tonga trees and the kids tree in the middle. This particular shot right now. Because the Kenya tree is all shriveled up, so I don't think it likes the higher splitting. It's not too much the higher splitting.
There we go. Okay, it was just my end. Yeah, nice HD view of the 20-gallon and the big one. Good to see you, Lacey. Oh, so just counting eggs at this point. I really want to go back to grocery work. Let's see. I'm still okay. The thing is with the Walmart demo specialist person, they want me to provide medical records for them to give me a chair. I can't get my medical records from an injury that happened 20 years ago. I just can't. Okay? I don't have them. I was homeless twice since then. You know, because of said injury. "90-degree angles. They are not what spines crave." I'm going to take one of my allergy relief pills. Because I think this is probably the best medication I've found. Just taking a fucking allergy pill that mildly causes drowsiness that calms my heart rate down. Coffee from church. That's how you know it's a good church. They got good coffee. Anyways. Standing in one spot kills my back. I'm one of those people who has to sit down a little bit before everybody else in church. Okay? And you know, like, it's church. I take church pretty seriously. And I have to make the choice, okay, will God forgive me for being inflamed, for not wanting to be inflamed for the rest of the day, and actually have to sit down when I want to sit down? You see, in stock, you're leaning, you're on your knees. Sometimes you have to sit down. You know, the bottom shelf. but you get to walk around. You know, you're not standing in one place waiting on people or confined to a 10-foot radius around a cart. That's what they want me to. They want me to stay 10 feet around a cart for 6 hours straight, plus a lunch break. Look, that just thinking about that was making enough to make me light up my cigarette. Now, the grocery store doesn't pay hella good money. $8 an hour, something like that. 30 plus hours a week, 30 hours probably at least. It's going to be making the same amount of money that I would have doing demo sales. But like, I don't want to have nothing but push-ups to do when I get home. You know? I miss the feeling of my back hurting because I accomplished something with my back. You know? Not just my back's hurting because I stood in one place too long. It'll hurt worse from that, too. Like if I'm working and I keep the muscle tone up, that's what helps. But standing in one place, I'm going to have to work out when I get home just to be able to stand in one place. Now, on the other hand, I could probably do both jobs because working at the grocery store would help me like stay in good enough physical shape to work at the other one. But then there's the whole thing of I don't know if they're going to want me working at a grocery store and working at Walmart. Because I'm supposed to be a salesperson for Walmart, basically. That's what it's called. It's called event sales. But like, I miss my goatee. You know? I don't I don't feel right with a shaved face. I know I probably don't look right. Like some kind of shitty businessman, right? Hi, how are you today? Yeah. Would you like to open up an account with this brokerage? I'm sorry. I'll stop. what I look like. I look like a fucking stockbroker. Now, let me read what Lacey's been saying. Heart palpitations are a good thing. Don't let anyone ever tell you different. No, I don't like heart palpitations because they make me feel like I'm going to die of a heart attack. That to me is when your heart's like, hey motherfucker, I'm about to attack and kill you. Can I still use Norm Macdonald's joke? Your heart's just like, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. No, no, please don't get me. Body's like a Barbie with the pop-out joints. So you gotta do yoga and stuff to keep your arms from coming out of the socket. Yeah, that's just called staying in shape, man. Everybody's got to do that. People who become completely inactive and just wind up getting that round, unhealthy shape and dying in their 60s, just inevitably dying in their 60s if they live that long. That's just inactivity. They don't wind up having the problems with pulling their shoulders out of socket because they don't do enough. But then they wind up needing hip replacement surgery because they didn't do enough. And then went on vacation or something. Oh, thanks for sharing, Lacey. You have to go clean up puke. Oh. While we're sharing, Dingo has lost all of his potty training in that 9.5 days that I was gone. 10 days, I think, total I was gone. Whatever. 9 days. Nine days and 10 nights I was gone. He's lost his entire capacity for bladder and fecal control. And I have a new rule. No matter what I'm doing, where I'm going, if I'm going to leave him unattended for any amount of time, the last thing I have to do is take him outside. Whether I'm going asleep or whether I'm going somewhere. That's another reason why a 6 or 7 day a week job is more appealing. Because it'd be fewer hours, less time for him to be sitting here shitting in my fucking... He shat in my shower. I mean, like, good try and all, but really? Now I got little poo crumbs where I'm supposed to be getting clean. And it smells like cause I got one of those mats on the floor in the shower. So the poo got all up in the mat. It's one of them foot scrubbing mats. And like I just said fuck it. Like it's just gonna wait till next time I take a shower. Get nice and dry and brittle. Because I'm not gonna sit there and try to smear it around while I clean it. Just pass. No thanks. But now my bathroom stinks. I usually keep a quite pleasant smelling bathroom. Because, you know, I clean my toilet and whatnot. I try not to piss on the floor. But anyways. So yeah, I'm gonna stop taking that medication in the mornings. I'm gonna use it if I have trouble sleeping at night, and that's it. I'm probably gonna take it every night, but like, I don't need painful bullshit problems on top of how it's making. From the day they gave it to me in River Oaks in the mental hospital, the next day they gave it to me in the evening, and no, not even the next day. Later that same evening, I was in tears. I was feeling overwhelmed by depression, and I told them, "This is making my depression worse." You know what I think the best thing for me, as far as managing my depression symptoms and managing my rage and anything like that, is to not smoke as much pot. Because you can get to the point where you smoke so much so often that when you're not stoned, you get susceptible to shit. So what you got to do is maintain sober periods. Just periods where you're just not smoking because you don't need to smoke. And then save the smoking for when you need to smoke. Oh, I'm starting to get agitated. I'm starting to get restless. I'm starting to get depressed. Then smoke. Instead of the day has begun, I'm going to get high. Okay? I like to be clear headed for a while in the morning. And for a while, I was with someone who didn't. And I'm not going to say that my choices are her fault or anything. But if somebody else is smoking first thing in the morning, I'm going to smoke first thing in the morning. I'm not going to sit there and smell it, you know? Be like, still not time yet. No, it's like I'll be sitting here having a nice morning. I mean, if I'm stressed out, I'll smoke in the morning, and I wake up stressed out sometimes. But if I'm just having a regular old morning, not in pain or anything, I'll be enjoying sobriety, having coffee, smoking a cigarette, reflecting, meditating, maybe putting on some news. And then somebody wants to come out here and smoke as soon as they wake up. As soon as I smell that shit, time to smoke. That's how your tolerance winds up going way through the roof. That's why that's how you'll wind up with what's called marijuana syndrome, where you become extremely chemically dependent on marijuana. I like not having any for a while. I like having sober days. I like being able to have sober days. Anyway, so I didn't take a pill this morning, and I'm feeling better and more focused. Like my brain is coming back to life. And then what I've been meaning to say this whole time is that, I kind of live by looking for signs. And, I don't think every little thing is a sign. But I think every now and again, God speaks clearly through coincidence. And today is the day that I didn't take a pill. And today is the day, of all the days that I went in there and talked to that manager, that he asked me if I was ready to work. Misha's shaking the phone. It's not me. Well, shit. I love her. She is such a pain in the ass. Like, she loves me, but if I pick her up and try to pet her like I do Simba, she'll just like claw me right in the face. She'll just smack me a couple times with her claws. What the fuck are you doing? She's such a little shit. Anyways. So yeah. No pressure to make long hours at the grocery store. I can go in, get my fucking work done, and leave. Because I don't want to make more than about 30 hours a week. And I can just basically do the amount of work I want to do every day. I get my allotted work done and then go help other people or front, rotate stuff, basically get work done until it's my time to go. And I am really looking forward to that, man. And I've been thinking, like, that's the one place that I really want to work, that I really hope works out. Because, the other place, Winn-Dixie, it's kind of slow there. They really don't have a lot of business, and I don't feel like my job would be very secure there. Rouse's business is booming. They have a great location on the other side of town from Walmart. There isn't a Family Dollar right across the street like there is at Winn-Dixie. Every time I get an itch, I'm so fucking country. This is how country I am. Every time I get an itch, I make sure it's not a flea. I kill it like it's a flea. I don't just scratch an itch. As soon as I get an itch, I'm trying to kill a flea. It's probably not a flea, but every time I itch, I think it might be a damn flea. Because there's some country shit I live in, Anyways. wasn't going to work. Mostly because I turned the camera stand the wrong way. Okay. And Lacey saying she had to go clean out puke is still the last comment on the board. Anybody else feel like chatting? You know, every time I get home dressed like this and I want to make a live stream, I think about like taking off a sweater jacket, kicking off my shoes and putting on slippers. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, you know. I feel like fucking I'm wearing Mr. Rogers' shoes. I'll be glad to put up all these shirts and ties and slacks I got sitting on my kitchen chairs. Now that I know what the hell I'm doing with my life. Back at the grocery store. It's just going to be such a comfort zone, you know? I'm just going to be so happy to work at a fucking grocery store. Y'all have no idea. I'm just going to be so happy. James, what's going on, man? So I technically don't have this job yet. I'm supposed to go into an interview tomorrow. But usually when they call you in for an interview, when they already know you, it's because they want you to start immediately. I told him I was working at this Walmart as the demo person. He's like, "Man, you don't want to be working for Walmart." Yeah, you're right. I do not want to be working for Walmart. I'm hoping he'll let me start tomorrow, man. Put me on the floor, let me get some work done. I'm gonna go wearing non-slip shoes and black jeans. I'm gonna be ready. Please, Lord, let me get a paycheck this Friday. I got $7 in the bank, y'all. I got $7 in the bank and $7 in my wallet. Maybe that's why it's my lucky day. So why am I not counting chickens before they hatch? Because I'm counting an egg here, man. There's an egg where there wasn't one before, and I'm happy to have an egg. And it's a damn good looking egg. And the reason why I'm taking pride in how good that egg looks isn't unwise, is because I've already got the other job. These two jobs pay the same. If I passed a background check with one of them, I could pass a background check with the other. You know? I've already worked for Rouse's before. So. And you know, like, I've been sitting there looking at my box of resumes and searching on the internet, trying to find out what place I should even go try to look for a job that doesn't have an ad up, that they don't got a help wanted sign or anything. What kind of places do I want to bring my resume to around here? And all I wound up thinking was, man, I hope Rouse's hires me. Just every time I try to think of where I want to put my resume in, I'm just thinking, oh God, I hope Rouse's hires me. Whether it's car sales or whatever. And like, here's the thing. When you work in sales, sales of any kind, you're selling something that people don't need. People don't need to buy a house. People don't need to buy a brand new car. And whatever the hell it is I'm going to be selling at Walmart, they didn't come in there for that. If they came in there for that, they would just go buy it. I'm literally trying to get people to buy extra shit that they don't need. I fucking hate that. I hate the whole concept of extra shit you don't need. I don't want to be the guy that makes people buy extra shit they don't need. And sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. And sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. You know what? I think I might make a church. I'm gonna make a church just so I have a good church to go to. Because I don't like all this modern contemporary Christian stuff. And I don't like necessarily church pew boring stuff. But if you stick to a nice mix of the classics, you get everybody singing along. And it can be the same fucking 10 songs. And just do a mix of 5 different ones every week. And that way everybody, you know, when they know that when they're going to church, they know what they're going to. You should have like staple songs that you play every week. Just about. Play them all at least once a month. And then once a week, have a new and different song. Only let somebody from the audience, let some soloist, other than the usual person who leads the worship, let them come up. And that way it's a performance and not a sing-along. And yeah, people who know the song already can sing along. You have the words up there and encourage people to sing along. But people don't feel obligated to sing along. They don't feel like they gotta learn a new song now. When you go to church in the first place, you're learning a new song. But you need to learn that song. You can't just be learning all kinds of different new songs over and over again. That's just the way I feel about it. And I got some core, what I call church music that I've grown up listening to. And I hope one day I can find the right people to start a church, man. I need to do some push-ups. Ooh, like number 4. Thank you, whoever left like number 4. But man, not to take it for granted, but I really think I'm going to be working at Rouse's. There shouldn't be any notes of anything bad from the month and a half I worked for them after Katrina. I went in there, the day that I went in there, he called me up a couple of hours later for an interview, handed me a shirt and said, "Can you start now?" And I said, "Absolutely." And man, I wouldn't even mind being a department manager and getting off a disability. As long as it's a no people department. As long as it's just my department, like dairy or frozen foods. Just let me run that shit and order everything myself. Oh, that just sounds like paradise to me. What really sucks about the condition of my back is that I can do that kind of work, but I can't do trades work. Because repetitive side to side motions are what kills me. And to do any kind of carpentry, any kind of automotive work, you got to be able to cut, polish, sand. And that work that should be so easy does hell on my back. Like I can't even describe. The difference between deadlifting and stocking shelves and say running a rotary buffer on the hood of a car. I'll stock shelves all day and just have a little bit of inflammation. But if I run a rotary buffer on a car for just a couple of hours, I've got just what feels like somebody kicking me in the back in real time. Just that one middle place where my spine actually broke, where it bent, where it bent. A full 45 degrees, at least. It bent far enough to my left rib got hit in my hip and bruised my hip. The handlebars didn't get me. My own hip and rib cage came together. Rib got cracked. Hip was bruised as shit. I hate sounding like a whiny bitch saying that there's only certain work I can do, and people thinking I'm fucking lazy. You know, get in the ring with me, motherfucker. You'll see how lazy I am. I may not be able to polish a fucking car for very long, but it don't take but 5 minutes to whoop somebody's ass. And I'm just so tired of the disrespect. People thinking I'm lazy. Disabled people are not lazy. Disabled people, most of them, want to work. Most disabled people, even people who don't look like they're not disabled, like me, I don't look like I'm disabled unless you're really good at analyzing somebody's posture. And I try to fake my posture and try to straighten out and try to stand tall. So you can't always even tell with me. But people who you can tell they're disabled, you don't call them lazy. Because you're so busy feeling sorry for them. Well, guess what? They feel sorry for themselves too. And they wish that they could work the same way you can. They're not living off of the system because the system pays well. Believe me, it doesn't. I'm 38 years old, and the only job I know how to do of anything else. There's too much depression involved. The one time I got depressed while stocking shelves, I made the no, two times I got depressed while stocking shelves. Once I lost a job through bullshit circumstances, but once I made a mistake and wound up letting one of my parents fake bribe me out of my life, and I was depressed enough to quit my job and leave it, and I lost a fucking house because of that. I could have been a property owner if I just stuck it out where I was. So, suffice to say, the only two times I've ever lost grocery jobs, I wound up in much worse situations. So there's no logical way I'm going to lament having a grocery job anymore. I don't feel like I'm stuck anywhere in life. I know that my path to success has nothing to do with being career minded. I don't have the stress threshold to be career minded. I'm just just going to work my little grocery job and try to make my business empire happen. And I'm going to keep working the grocery job as long as I can. Because I can schedule business around a grocery job. Easy. The hours are relatively irregular, often going into work long before anybody else does. Getting off at odd times either in the morning or the afternoon. Or like I said, 6 and 7 day a week type positions, where you're just going in for a few hours every day. I would love that right now. I would love to just 5 hours, 7 days a week. Oh, that would be so great. Man, I'm gonna go front that whole fucking liquor department because it doesn't look as good as I can make it. I can make that whole liquor department just look so much better. I have the eye for how to even out bottles, man. I got that eye. Face them all perfectly forward, you know. I get to be paid to be OCD. I'm so fucking happy, y'all. Y'all don't understand. Great. Yeah, but see, I don't think I'll be able to work both of these jobs, even if I wanted to. Because they're competitors. Oh. I like getting paid every week. I don't like getting paid bi-weekly. like being able to adjust my hours too. If I need to make less money because I'm trying to keep disability, I can just get my work done quicker. Or clock out for a while. I certainly feel a lot more mature and wiser about the value of a job that I can actually do, that I just kind of enjoy doing, that I get a physical benefit from. You don't need a gym membership when you're stocking shelves, man. You're doing all kinds of squatting and lifting. It's cool. Like, is it horrible that I would literally, if my bills were already paid, I would go do that shit for free? Because I would go do that shit for free, man. Yeah. I just wanted to text message somebody and I went and looked for my phone. Oh yeah, there it is. Take it easy, Maximo. Good to see you, brother. Everybody keep your fingers crossed for this one, because this is, you know, how many guys they have with 7 years grocery experience. When I literally grew up working at Bromart. Had the job from 17 to 21. Hurt my back halfway between that time. Quit for a while and then came back to it. Oh, I can't wait till tomorrow. That's exciting, man. Like, I don't think many people besides me would get so excited over a grocery job. But I am genuinely excited about this. Because to me, it's not about the money that you make, you know? It's about actually finding something I can do that's not too much for me right now. But I like the idea too of getting hired during the down season. This is the down season for the grocery business. You know, it'll be a while before 4th of July. And that's basically the next holiday that there is that they're going to sell anything during, rather than just regular old groceries. If you get hired during the holidays, your position is not secure. If you get hired during the off season when business is already slow, that's because there's somebody needed and they needed them replaced. That means your job is secure. So I like the whole idea of getting hired right about now. Misha, I already fed you. Stop letting Dingo eat your food. Still got food in your bowl, dummy. You still got food in your bowl. Leave me alone. So, who's still here? Four people like this broadcast so far, and I didn't even have to put "I got a real job" in the title. Misha, you can't have none of this. No, ma'am. This is not for you. This is Sean food. You heard? I guess Lacey's still cleaning up puke. It's a lovely bit of information there. So glad she shared that with everyone. I like these guys that run the department over there. They seem like cool guys to work for. I like that I'll be able to grow a beard again. You know, I just thought of something hilarious. The entire time I was in that mental hospital, no one took any interest into even asking me whether or not I think I'm Jesus. I've been asked that question a bunch of times by mental health professionals, long before the awakening ever happened. Do you think you are Jesus Christ? Which now I would reply, Jesus or Christ. You know, just to be a shithead. Anyways, I just thought it was odd. You know, I got YouTube videos of basically my wife saying I'm the prophet, of myself saying that I'm John the Baptist. John the Baptist was the Christ. Jesus was an amalgamation of the Christ and the Queen, becoming a unified power base. And that, you know, very anti-socialist form of government in which a messiah and his wife basically had the final say over anything, including war on the earth, whether or not a war could happen. Those who had slavery down to politics generations ago, years, centuries, millennia ago, at least 2,700 years ago that I can pinpoint on paper, did these same people come from the same place doing the same things. And while I believe in democracy, as anyone who inherited divine rule should, I don't believe in socialism. To socialize everything is to take away the power from the people and put it entirely in the hands of the corrupt. Because everybody who's being honest, to be honest, is to be powerless. Because you don't mean anything to the corrupt. Because all you are, you just become meat in a system. Some people want to be meat in a system. They just want to be meat in the grinder. I'm glad, at least for a capitalist system in which I can choose a video platform to be a YouTube preacher or whatever I want to be, on top of being meat in a grocery store grinder. But just to finish one thing I said earlier, working in an extra industry where the stuff that you're doing is not needed doesn't feel as good to me as working in a grocery store where I'm helping provide people with their needs. I'm the guy who takes it from the truck to the consumer. And, I find that personally to be rewarding. Not quite as rewarding as selling a Honda, but the Hondas I want to sell, the bank won't finance. So anyways, I'm in a pretty good mood. So anyways, just in case anyone's still listening, on the investment front, I've recently sent a proposal to make a miniature Easy Reefer store on a much smaller piece of land. Still as a means by which to prototype flood-proof buildings. I want it to have a very beach house feel to it, which is convenient because it's going to make it a lot cheaper. So what I'm envisioning is basically a triangular cutaway of the building with the big ass fish tank still, with the 8x8 system. But all in all, set up more like a greenhouse. To save on insulation, just gonna make it open flow. maybe use screens, maybe use canvas. Might use a combination of both.
I need more coffee. I need something.
Some orange juice and take some Tylenol.
housework.
Forgot I was streaming for a minute.
But anyways, I got to race a Mustang on the way home. He beat me, but I made him work for it. Oh, Jeep finally made a pickup truck just the way I've been saying they should. Isn't that nice? It's about damn time. The new Gladiator. Apparently, Doug DeMuro is all. Dingo.
The stream is frozen. Oh shit.